Powered by Riverside.
Hey, welcome to another edition of Blue Jay Banner. Today, once again, the sun came up, so it's 2 days in a row.
Good.
So I think we're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Tim Kruger, Mike Rochon. Hey, Mike.
Good morning, Tim.
Hey, today we're just going to get Mike's thoughts, and then we're going to dig in. We got some. We've been so busy with previews and everything going on in Vegas and everything going on. We haven't had a chance to look at some questions. We've gotten some in recently too. I think people are getting a bit concerned, but we'll discuss those, and then I want to jump into something. Call me a sucker for being for getting in with the trolls, but whatever. It'll be fun. But first, we want to thank our wonderful sponsors. First of all, RTI Threads. Check out everything RTI Threads has to offer at rtithreads.com. They have fabulous merchandise, Creighton merchandise for all ages. So a great place to go get your Christmas shopping done. If you haven't done it, it's, what is it, December 9th? So what do you got? Just a little over 2 weeks. So you got to get going. So here's the easy one-stop shop, right? RTI Threads, they have it all, and they're exclusive apparel provider of Blue Jay Banner. And so check them out. That's rtithreads.com. And speaking of RTI Threads and combining it with our other sponsor, Infusion Brewing Company. Thanks to Infusion. Go to their website, infusionbrewing.com. You'll see all the beers they have and their hours of their tasting room and everything else. But you can go there tomorrow night. Big event over RTI. Big event over at Infusion Brewing Company. Sponsored by RTI and by Blue Jay Banner. There's the address, 6271 South 118th Street. Be from 5:30 to 8. Go on over. We're going to have those players you see pictured there, Isaac Trout, Jason Green, Nelly Gessert, and Nora Gessert, all going to be there. All Nebraska players, natives. So, the women obviously weren't involved in the Nebraska game, but the men were. So you can ask them questions. Ask them, hey, what happened? And trust me, Jason and Isaac, especially Jason, are very good at answering those kind of difficult questions, and he gives real thoughtful answers and does it in a way that really calms you. He always calms me when he's on the post game show. He's like, okay, everything's fine. So they will all be there. RTI Threads will be there with tons of merchandise, and they will have player-specific merchandise for these 4 players. So you can buy one, go over to their table, get them to autograph it, take a picture with them, whatever you want to do. They'll be there for about an hour and a half. We'll do a Q&A where you'll have a chance to answer questions. And then also, we're going to have a raffle. We're going to raffle about 3 or 4 different items off. So bring a little cash with you. And then if you want to get some free beer tickets for some of that wonderful infusion beer, all you got to do is send an RSVP to our email address, and that is bluejaybanner@gmail.com. So send us an email right there, and we'll let you know we got it. And you come to the door, give them your name, and we'll give you some free some tickets for a couple of free beers. So please do that ahead of time. That helps us out too with the crowd. All indications are it's probably even more RSVPs than we had last time at our biggest event. We had 2 events last year. One was bigger than the other one, but one was kind of suffered because of the weather. But this is going to be a fabulous event. So check it out tomorrow night, 5:30 to 8 at Infusion. This is a 21 and older event, however, so sorry about that, but that's the way it is. Okay. We got that all taken care of. We'll talk about something else a little bit later in the show. All right, Mike, let's get to your thoughts on the game Sunday.
It was terrible. I mean, there's the biggest concerning factor for me in all of these games that Creighton has lost has been how easily affected our body language and the way we play when things start going wrong. Just immediately, you can just tell, it's almost like that. Okay, here we go again, and everybody heads down, just poor effort, and it's just, that's what's really, really sticking out to me and that's very concerning because that's not something that just, okay, now this next game, all right, I'll change my attitude, and when things aren't going well, I'm gonna pick it up, and it's not gonna affect me. I was not to get too far into this hole here, but I was watching something that Billy Donovan was talking about, and he was talking about a guy who played 38 minutes and he missed 9 shots. And they asked him, how long does it take you to shoot a shot? And he's like, a second. And so he goes, so you're telling me that you missed 9 shots. So that's 9 seconds of basketball that you played of the 38 minutes, and you let 9 seconds affect you for 38 minutes. And I just kind of that really stuck out to me with this Creighton team as, they go down, miss a shot, turn the basketball over, that's a second here and there, and that's going to affect me for the next 5-10 minutes. That's tough to see.
Well, yes, but as you well know, it only takes you 2 seconds to hit a golf shot, and that golf shot can affect you for an hour.
Oh, I know.
So,
hey,
yes,
trust me,
that's all true, but easier said than done.
I agree 100%. It's easy for me to sit here and be like, why is this affecting you? I'm not the one out there playing. I'm not the one out there missing shots. So, I can't say what's going on in everybody's minds, but it's just, and I think that's where a lot of the fans are starting to get upset about it. Is just man, where is this effort? Where is just quote unquote dog mentality?
No, you're totally right.
I'm just
talking about the 1 second thing.
Yeah.
Forget an hour. I can still remember a putt I missed in member guest. I still think about it, and that was at least 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And this kind of ties to we're in volleyball, championship volleyball season right now, and I don't know about you, but they hit 2 serves in a row into the net. Okay, 2 times in a row. And they'll all huddle and laughing, and it just drives me nuts. Okay. And they're all encouraged. Oh, that's okay. We got it. And then to a different extent, like the last 2 years, Ashworth, things just going awful, and he's out there.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm like, oh my God, how can he just be acting like nothing's going on? Well, guess what? That's why they won. That's why the Creighton volleyball team wins. That's why some of these other volleyball teams win. That's why Creighton was winning, because they had that, sometimes I'd be like, God, does Trey even care out there? You know what I mean? I don't think he cares enough, and then, no, he cared. He's just keeping it even keel,
Yeah.
So, I think you're right on with that. Totally right on with that. And, yeah. So,
and then the next point, I mean, man, we have to get more from some of these guys. You just,
no doubt.
I don't want to be okay, and I hate that, we're paying this guy this much, this guy this much. I hate that. I hate the fact that all that is out there about what these guys are making. But also, they are making that. So like, we're kind of we're in that age where it's a little bit difficult now to look past that. But like, man, like Josh Dix, you have to shoot more than 5 times in a big game like this, especially when we're struggling as much as we're struggling. Like you have to just take over and be that guy and just, hey, everybody get on my back. I'm gonna take you guys. And you know what? If he struggled shooting the ball and he shot it 15 times, you know what? At least he was aggressive and went after it and went 15 times. But man, to shoot 5 times, like that's awful. And then like I don't want to get all fired up, but like, I mean, come on, Owen Freeman, like we have we have to get more from him. And like it's starting to get on that like level where it's like, I don't like, what do you do with him right now?
Yeah. So that's a perfect segue. I talked about some of that yesterday, but yeah, that's a perfect segue into what I want to talk about with some of the notes that we've gotten, either texts or emails. So, but first I want to talk about one. Okay, so Jake Sorensen, who does some show with Sipple, who, by the way, I know, everybody, he hates Chris. Sipple's a really good guy, and when I used to see him at the radio station, because he used to do some stuff at 1620, and he was always super nice to me. Number one, I mean, he's a big time columnist in a big time football school. He doesn't need to even give me the time of day. He would always ask thoughtful questions about Creighton, and genuinely interested in how the team was doing and what I thought and so forth. So I just respected him. He does a radio show with this Jake Sorensen. So Jake Sorensen tweets out, "I've never seen Creighton look this bad at basketball. What the hell happened to that program? Wow." Okay, first of all, here's a football guy trying to, delve into college basketball. That's what I always think when I see comments like that. Secondly, program? Have you looked at what we've done the last 2 decades?
Yeah.
And I made this comment, I think, last week, after the Vegas tournament. I said, you know what, people? What the worst thing that happened is we don't make the NCAA tournament. And you know what? We've had a pretty damn good run here. Okay?
Yeah.
I think Rob puts out stuff all the time. We're only one of like 8 schools that have made the round of 32 in the last whatever. So KFAB guy, who's a renowned Husker guy, but he's kind of like, I think I don't know. I'm probably not being very kind with this, but he's probably a little ticked because, he used to be the play-by-play guy for the Huskers, and he's kind of went away from Jim Rose. Okay. Who, by the way, reached out to me one time a couple of years ago when the contract was up in the air, thinking KFAB might get it. So, but anyway, Jim Rose answered him, and I was like, whoa, look at this. Jim Rose says they're not getting production from their key free agents. Their best player's out for the year. Their best recruit didn't play because of injury. He says it's going to be hard if Freeman, Dix, Harper, Graves don't start playing a lot better. Wow. Take a hammer and hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
And Dan Calder, of course, renowned walk-on back in the early Altman days, put up a little GIF with a guy pointing, going, "That's accurate,"
Yeah.
But I mean, just typical. God, just drives me nuts. Stuff like that with this Sorensen guy. Like, what's happened to this program? Oh, we've lost Nebraska 2 in a row, which hasn't happened, by the way, in 30 frickin' years. Okay, so maybe look at your program. Why wouldn't you say, God, what's happened to the Nebraska program? All of a sudden, we are really cranking it,
Yeah.
Why not say that?
Yeah.
This is why it just
Right.
irks me when we lose to them. Because you get these
I know.
idiotic comments.
Yeah.
God, I can't imagine what Kent Pavolka was like. Oh. Anyway, that's my little rant right there. But there's nothing wrong with the program.
Right.
And
No,
like I said,
like
I said yesterday, boy, we just don't learn from history as Creighton fans. How many years in a row now? I want to say 3, 4, 5. We've been right here at this time of year going, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
We were supposed to have this great team, and we've lost 6 in a row. What's oh, this is we're not even gonna make the NIT, and no, 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 no. Yeah, guess what? We made the Elite 8. So just relax a little bit, people, okay? Now,
Oh yeah.
I'll grant you it looks a little different. I'll
Yeah.
grant you that. I'll grant you that. The biggest thing to me is why it looks different is because number 11's not down there, who's been there for 5 years, and
One
everybody
hundred
expected
percent.
Owen Freeman to come in and be number 11. He ain't number 11, I'm telling you. Now he can give you different things. Again, they're really leaning into the injury. I get that. I get that a little bit, but the minutes he does, to your point, the minutes he does play, he's got to give more. And you know what? Doesn't help us when we're observing everything feed into that when he comes out of the game after 3 minutes and Mac just parades him. So
Yeah.
we obviously know he's not doing something, right? So then
Yep.
we right away we go, well, there's Freeman, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, it all comes together. Which leads me into my first question that someone sent in. It said, Tim, you've mentioned that Coach Huss is taking a bigger role in practices. Um, do you think this is part of the issues going on right now? That's a very, very good point. It's a very good question. Um, I would say no, because I've seen Huss. I mean, Huss is not, hey guys, you need to go. No, he's like in their grill. Like sometimes I think too much. Like I think sometimes I see too much. He's so smart, okay, about the game of basketball and so smart offensively where everybody should be in the details. I think it's a little bit too much for some of these guys right now. That's what I see. I see them like walking around. I'm thinking to myself, are they going to remember that 5 minutes from now?
Right.
I've seen him get really upset with people on like offensive or defensive things. Contrary to that, I do think, Mac in his press conference, not on the official press conference, but then on radio on 1620, said, hey, look, guys who got to start buying in or they're not going to play. That's just the way it is. And he goes, I think I've let him get away with some things. So I think Mac is deferring to Hassan. Maybe, I mean, I think they all, from what I hear, on the inside, they all love Huss. Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe the guys who have been here a while aren't hearing the Mac voice enough, maybe. And maybe I'm just speculating here. I'm not saying this is the issue. I'm just saying that could be just a small. And again, like everything else in life, your football team does bad, you're just blaming the quarterback. Oh,
Right.
we all have to have that one reason. Usually it's about 10 reasons why things aren't going good. And that's the case here. All right. You know, we shoot 17 of 34, we win the game. And that's just what it is, okay?
Yeah.
It's losing to Nebraska. Like I said yesterday, this is probably not a reason and nothing you're gonna fix and it probably doesn't mean squat. But I just am a firm believer that when you look at our run, we've always had guys who understand. There's been a couple of years where you're kind of like, we got a lot of new guys. We don't have a lot of Nebraska guys on the roster. I wonder if they really get it. For the most part, people have really gotten it. And we've had guys either coming back who understand it or are from here. Okay. Like, yeah, like Isaac Trout, he totally gets it, right?
Right.
Jason Green, I mean, if you had to say one player really played hard, it was Jason Green, because he knows how much this means to us.
Yep.
And I think those guys, and Austin Swartz had a nice game. I'm not saying him, but just picking them all out, throwing them all out, Blake Harper, all those guys. I think it's going to take a whole year for them to understand and hear it from fans.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, I don't think they understand They just think it's just a rivalry because they're close. They don't understand the whole dynamic of Nebraska people going to work and Nebraska fans just dying because they aren't any good basketball, and Creighton's dominated them. And then Creighton fans tired of Nebraska being on the front. Back in the day, Nebraska, it doesn't that way anymore. But used to be when I first lived here 20, 30 years ago. It was Nebraska was on the front page. Creighton basketball was back on page 4.
Right.
And that irked people, and that's why
Oh, yeah.
got things going with the Creighton beating Nebraska rivalry. Why it was so important. They don't understand all that dynamic. I think the biggest one is the office. That's why the fans, they don't want the Nebraska fans getting in their face next Monday morning. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't you think?
I agree 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's that. Bob sends in a question. Is the issue the players we got in the portal, or is the issue with the injuries, or is it C? In other words, I think he means, is it something else? And again, it's probably A, B, and C.
Right. Right.
And back to this Nebraska thing too. So I think we were just, because Owen Freeman and Josh Dix had played against Nebraska, I think we just thought, oh, well, they're going to get it. Did you get Iowa and Nebraska football? Yeah. Iowa and Nebraska basketball. I don't know that there's the thing.
No, I don't think
There could be a
it's
bigger
not the
thing with
same.
Josh just because he grew up in Council Bluffs. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe there's okay. But anyway, is there an issue with the portal? I mean, I know after this Nebraska game, if you went on Twitter on different feeds, you see tons of Iowa fans going, "Hey, we told you so."
Yeah.
But then why was Josh Dix one of the 10 highest recruited guys in the portal?
Yeah.
So, a lot of people were after Blake Harper too.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, again, I've said this a million times. Did I love the roster construction this year? No, not that particularly. I would have done things different, and people laughed at me when there was I think it was Matt DeMaria's someone posted to Matt the question, not basically to Matt, but on his feed, like who's going to have the biggest impact, Austin Swartz or Hudson Greer? And I go, oh, it's not even going to be close. It's Hudson Greer. And then Matt got back to me and goes, wow, that was pretty aggressive. What do you mean? I go, I'm telling you. Well, guess who was right? Moi. Everybody's making fun of me when he got the red shirt. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying. Now, Austin had a good game. That's a step in the right direction for him. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I'm just saying Hudson's that good. So I think the injuries are, I think to me, and I want to get your opinion. I think to me, Sunday the injuries was kind of don't you think?
Yeah,
for the first time we missed Jackson.
Yeah, for sure. And you missed Hudson because, what was it, 4-2 at the under 16 timeout, and being able to bring in a guy like Hudson who brings that energy that could have been a massive advantage for Creighton. And, we are slowly starting to, and anybody who scoffed at it, I don't know why, but we're slowly starting to see the impact of Jackson being out. So, it's messing with rotations and just a guy who could do so many different things on the floor, just spacing wise. Creighton's struggling.
Right.
Shooting the basketball, we need somebody to get to the basket. Well, everybody's packing in but Jackson was that guy who, you couldn't leave. So there's spacing right there that's not there anymore. So we're slowly starting to see the impact, especially in a game like the Nebraska one, where the Jackson injury is rearing its ugly head for sure.
Yeah, we got some more stuff, but We got to cut this short. So, but before we go, I just want to get your thoughts on the volleyball, where you think they're at.
So, it was funny that we were talking about, in the Northern Colorado and, having to go to 5 sets and things like that. And then you see like Tennessee losing to Utah State. And, it's like I said, you never apologize for winning. And then they come back against Northern Iowa and, win 3-1. I think that showed a lot going forward. And I like their chances. I think that, that first one at home, yes, you would hope that you would dominate and get out of there in 3 sets. But it's the NCAA tournament, you never know what's going to happen.
They're the only school that didn't, of the top 16, they were the only one that lost a set or lost two sets, I should say.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all it takes. You've seen in the NCAA tournament for basketball. Sometimes that second game, you win on a last second shot, and then it just it just kind of clicks, and then you end up making your run. So, I like where Creighton's at. I think they match up fine. Their defense is going to have to be on point against Arizona State. Arizona State's a really good team. And so, yeah, but you're there, you have a chance, and go get them.
I mean, we're 10 overall.
Don't hold anything back,
We're number 10 seed overall, so technically this is where we should bow out. I mean, if the seed's right? I mean, Arizona State, we'll get into this on Thursday, but Arizona State remarkably has played a very similar schedule to Creighton. Like, they played Texas, lost 3. They did beat Penn State, but I think that was after Penn State lost their best player. Yeah. I think we played them right to get go. Right. They played Northern Iowa, beat them 3-0, but we beat Northern Iowa 3-0 too. What did kind of comfort me a little bit was after I'd listened to on Sunday, maybe it was, I listened to the press conference from Northern Iowa, and the coach said, "Look, we played our best volleyball the last couple days. This is way the best we played all year." So then that made me feel like, okay, and I didn't realize they'd just raced through the valley just like we did. I'm through the Big East. I was like, wow, it's pretty impressive actually. So yeah. And then Boost Kid played lights out.
Right.
God. Yeah. But anyway, that's a volleyball. So we want to talk about Saturday too. So before the Saturday game, there'll be a pregame event. There's a pregame event every game in Hilton. They have a little, if you haven't gone there, it's kind of cool. They have, drinks, food. They have it in open lobby area, so there's plenty of room. Well, RTI Threads is doing a special event there, and they've asked us to MC it. So we'll be down there. Mike, Austin, AJ, intern Will be there. So we're going to kind of MC a thing. We're going to, do a Q&A. We got John Walker, the Omaha World Herald, coming over. So we'll do Q&A with him. You can ask him questions, and then we'll do some trivia stuff, some contests, some people in the audience, and we'll give away some stuff. So it'll be a fun time. It starts at noon, games at 2, so we'll knock it off about 1:30 so everybody can get over and get in their seats. But so head on down there. And by the way, I keep telling this, it's going to be terribly cold Saturday. So as this temperature goes up and down and up and down, but great time to take advantage of the Hilton. You park in the ramp, you walk right in, then you can walk in on overpass over into the arena and not have to go outside. And that's a big selling point right there.
Right, exactly.
Well, there it is. And again, remember our event tomorrow night, 5:30 to 8 in Fusion Brewing Company. There's the address. Those are the players that'll be there. RTI Threads will be there co-hosting the event and having tons of merchandise and merchandise related to these players, or you can get them to sign it. You can take pictures with the players. You can, go up, have a little chat with them. We're going to do Q&A with all of them. So check it out tomorrow night. Fusion Brewing, RSVP at bluejbanner@gmail.com. All right. That's it for today. We're going to try and get a guest tomorrow. Then we'll have a preview of volleyball Thursday. And Mike will be back with us Friday for the basketball preview. So thanks, everybody. See you later.
Go, Jace.